Today we're wrapping up our ranking attraction series with Animal Kingdom. Hello and welcome to the Let's Go to Disney podcast. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Lucy.
Today is Sunday, April 14th, and you're listening to episode 31, Ranking the Animal Kingdom Attractions. Before we get into today's main topic, here's what's going on in the parks right now. It was another busy news week for Disney. We've got more updates about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Disney Parks blog previously shared the first and second critter encounters, which will be critters playing Zydeco-style music, followed by a second encounter with rah-rah-style music. Disney shared a look at the last of these encounters, which will be frogs greeting you with what Disney calls jazzy sounds and complex rhythms of Afro-Cuban music. The characters will be Felipe, Mera, and Mondo, the frogs, and Isabel, the green tree frog. Disney also said that not all of the characters you'll encounter will be musicians, and hinted at some of the other characters such as Gloria and Dolores who observe guests as they float by, as well as Larry the mischievous armadillo. They also said that some critters are small, while some will be, quote, big with an even bigger personality. We've loved getting little snippets of what will be experienced on the attraction, and it's making us even more excited for the opening, which is soon. I
completely agree. I think this is going to be a really great refresh on this ride, and I think the songs are going to be super catchy. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Yeah. Disney Parks took to Instagram and shared a look at 2 retail locations also coming to the area. This is at Walt Disney World. These will be Critter Co-op and Tiana's Bayou General. Critter Co-op is replacing the space that used to be Briar Patch, and Tiana's Bayou General will be at the exit of the attraction. No further details were released about what will be sold and what the interior will look like, but that will likely come soon as well. It's all exciting and we can't wait to see what it will all look like when it's finally open. Disney announced changes coming to the eligibility and application process for the Disability Access Service, or DAS, at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. These changes will take effect on May 20th in Florida and June 17th in California. The most significant changes are to the definition of who may qualify for the service. These new details are on the Disney World website. The enrollment period will increase to 120 days from 60 days. Your DAS group will now be limited to immediate family or no more than 4 people. So if you are a family of 6, you'll be able to bring everyone. But if you're traveling with friends, for example, you'll be limited to a party of 4. Disney has stated that the use of DAS has tripled in the last 5 years, and this is the reason for the changes. More details will be released as the date approaches, and time will tell what the experience will be like for guests who need and use this service. 1900 Park Fair finally reopened on April 10th. Initial impressions are coming in and it all looks positive. The meet and greets look fun and feature Mirabelle, Aladdin, Cinderella, and Tiana. We're having dinner there in less than 3 weeks and we can't wait to experience it. If you want to follow along, I'll be sharing stories on our Instagram account.
Yeah, we always get really excited when we try new restaurants and I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, 100%. The food looks phenomenal and we never ate there when it was open previously, so I've never tried that strawberry soup, but it looks...
We will definitely try it.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I'm definitely going to give it a go.
Yeah.
Disney released a new discount where you could save up to 30% on room reservations at select Disney Resort hotels for most nights between July 8th and October 3rd, and you could still save up to 25% for stays of 1 to 4 days. There's an annual pass holder and Florida resident offer during those same dates, and savings increased to up to 35%. VI pass holder days are coming up very soon, beginning on May 1st through June 26th. Disney annual pass holders will have access to an exclusive magnet. There will also be a pass holder lounge at Restaurant Marrakesh at the Morocco Pavilion through June 18th, which will have drinks, light snacks, and buttons. We're finally there during one of these events, and I'm excited to pick up our magnets.
We'll definitely take full advantage of it because we're there.
Yeah, 100%. With that said, in today's episode, we'll be wrapping up our ranking attractions in each park episode series, and we're ending with Animal Kingdom. So Animal Kingdom is really a phenomenal park. It's not like any other Disney park in our opinion. It doesn't get nearly as much love as it deserves.
I agree. Lots of people will actually skip this park.
I know, and it's heartbreaking. So it does have the least amount of your classic attractions. It has some really excellent ones as well, though, which we'll get to in just a minute, but it has so much more to offer as well. It has beautiful wildlife, obviously, and foliage. The vibes are relaxed and chill. It has some of the best, if not the best shows on all of Disney property. I always say Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios for the rides, and Epcot and Animal Kingdom for the vibes. And the vibes are really calm and stress-free for the most part. We usually put our Animal Kingdom day on the back of a Magic Kingdom day, and we find that to be the perfect recipe. It's fun and entertaining, but not nearly as hustle and bustle as Magic Kingdom. With each subsequent trip, we fall more and more in love with this park. We couldn't have said that when we first started coming to Walt Disney World, but we sure feel that way now. Like the other episodes in this series, today is about attractions and shows, so we'll give you our ranking in order. There aren't as many here, so it is a smaller list, but as you'll quickly see, there are some stellar attractions and shows at this park. We count 19 attractions and shows here, and again, that's just attractions and standing entertainment. So, Kicking things off with number 19, we're slotting Triceratops Spin. So this attraction is located in Dino Land, USA, and it's another of your typical spinning arm rides. So not unlike Magic Carpets of Aladdin in Adventureland over there in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, 100%. So it's nothing special. It's your typical spinning arm ride, and it's good for the smaller littles in your party. We did ride it with Sophia, our daughter, on our last trip because she wasn't tall enough for Flight of Passage or Expedition Everest, both of those actually, which both have a 44-inch height requirement. So while Caleb and I were riding Expedition Everest, Lucy and Sophia rode Triceratops Spin, and you got a super cute video of her on that.
I did. Yeah, you know what? For all the shade we give to those spinning arm rides, this one was actually really perfect because it gave Sophia something to do. She was kind of excited about it. She actually enjoyed it, and it didn't make her feel like she was completely missing out while her brother got to do the big rides.
Agreed 100%. She's the target audience, and it filled the need to keep her busy and not like she was totally missing out by not riding Expedition Everest while we were there.
Exactly.
With that said, like all kids, she's grown a lot in the last 11 months, and she's now more than tall enough to ride both Flight of Passage and Expedition Everest. So we'll definitely be riding both with her this time around.
Can't wait.
Yes, she's just over 46 inches now, so that opens up a bunch of new rides for her at Walt Disney World and Disneyland as well. We weren't sure she would sprout to 46 inches in time for our Disneyland trip later this summer, but she already has, so Indiana Jones is a go.
Here we come. Coming in at number 18 is the Boneyard. This is also located in Dino Land, USA, and it's essentially a massive play structure themed to a dino dig where your littles can run around freely and burn off some energy. Just quick note, it is limited to kids aged 10 and under, and there are slides, rope bridges, among many other elements for your kids to play on. There's an age where kids can't resist a really good play structure, and this one with the sheer size and location of the park is perfect. The kids love this one, and while you may be less likely to want your kids to be running around in the parks like Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios where it's busy and go, 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 we feel like this is kind of the perfect one to do this with in Animal Kingdom. Again, more relaxed and just let your kids run free and have fun.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Number 17, we're grouping together the conservation station and the affection section, and that's at Rafiki's Planet Watch. So the affection section is essentially a petting zoo where you'll be able to meet various animals like goats. If your kids are into animals, it's definitely worth the trek out there to check it out. And just inside the conservation station, you'll be able to see some of the veterinary care that the animals that live at Animal Kingdom receive, as well as several other educational activities and views of different animals, reptiles, amphibians, among many, many others. It's not necessarily something that we do every trip. The kids enjoy it, so we do go when we have them with us, but we certainly don't always make the trip out, if ever, when it's just Lucy and I.
Yeah, that's true. We definitely do that for the kids because it's a fun little train ride out there as well.
Yeah, agreed.
At number 16 is the animation experience at the conservation station. So this is the same conservation station that we just covered, but a specific experience out there that we think deserves its own point is the animation experience. This is a really fun experience where a Disney animator puts on a 25-minute session on how to draw a Disney character, and they'll break it down, the drawing from start to finish, and you follow along and you try to emulate the drawing as best as you can. Yep. We've seen this busy all the time. Yep. A lot of people like to do this. This is held several times throughout the day. The times are listed on the My Disney Experience app, and the character you draw is going to rotate, so it won't always be the same one. And you don't need any kind of drawing experience to take part in this. And the best part is that you get to keep your work of art at the end, and you can build up your trip keepsake. It's perfect. Yep. It's a really relaxing experience, and we totally think it fits with the vibes of this park. Like we said, very chill. There's no judgment here. You work at your own pace, and whether the end result is good or not, it really doesn't matter as long as you had fun.
Yeah, agreed 100%. There's no pressure there.
No,
it is a cool experience, and obviously the animators
people of all ages too there.
Yeah, 100%, and the animators are super skilled, right? Yeah. So it's definitely worth a trip out.
Yeah, it's kind of fun just to watch them draw at the same time too.
Yeah, agreed 100%. At number 15, we're putting the Wildlife Express train. So while you may not think of this as a classic attraction because it's the only way to get to Rafiki's Planet Watch, it certainly is an attraction in and of itself. So you'll board a rustic train, which will give you a behind-the-scenes look at some of the animals that live at Animal Kingdom. The trek out to Rafiki's Planet Watch takes about 7 minutes, and it's 1.2 miles from station to station. You'll see some animals as you pass by and some of Disney's vet buildings. It's a nice, relaxing ride in a really relaxing park, and you don't have to go to Rafiki's Planet Watch if you don't want to. If you simply want to ride the train back and forth and call it a ride, you can certainly do that. If you've watched the magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom, some of the facilities that you see in the show are the facilities that you'll glimpse as the train goes by during your ride, which we thought is pretty cool. And it's pretty special to see the work that goes into the care of these animals, because the operation they have going on at Animal Kingdom is unreal.
Yeah, definitely shout out to that series on Disney Plus. You should watch that if you haven't. It's excellent.
Yeah, 100%. We really enjoyed it. And it's important to note that Animal Kingdom in terms of surface area is the largest because of all the space they have for the animals and all of the care facilities in the background that you don't necessarily see. So very, very cool.
They do genuinely care about every animal that's there, and you can see it.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
And number 14 is Discovery Island Trails. So out of all the walking trails at Animal Kingdom, this is probably the one that flies under the radar the most. It's located in the trails that surround the Tree of Life and down by the water. You can enter it from various points, and it's kind of misleading because when you're facing the tree coming from the main entrance, it looks like you can't get anywhere, but you certainly can. There's walking trails all around, to the sides, and behind the tree. Here you're going to find a bunch of different animals such as Galapagos tortoise, African crested porcupine, red kangaroo, Asian small-clawed otter, white storks, macaws, lesser flamingos, ring-tailed lemurs, among many, many others. It's usually one of the quieter areas of the park, but it's definitely worth checking out during your Animal Kingdom day.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Like, we didn't know about this the first few times we went to the park. And
it's because right past it all
that's
the time.
The thing. Like, when you walk up towards the tree, there's so much like trees and foliage and stuff that it's like you can't really see the walking path. So
you're looking at the tree, so you're just kind of focused there, and then you walk away.
Yeah, 100%. So it's hard to even like envision that there's anything there. And then you have the entrance to, it's tough to be a bug, which is in the base of the tree. And again, it doesn't look like anything else is around, but once you actually start to explore the area, there's a bunch of trails with a bunch of animals. So it's definitely worth exploring that area. And again, I think not many people know about it. So it is usually the most quiet part of the park.
Yeah, agreed.
Coming in at number 13, we've got Feathered Friends in Flight. So this is located at the Anandapur Theater in the Asia section of the park, the side closest to the Africa section. So here, Disney animal behavior experts will give you a behind-the-scenes glimpse at the free-flying birds at the park and how they care and train them. There are several showtimes throughout the day that are listed on the My Disney Experience app. It's super interesting and definitely worth popping in to hear what the specialists have to say and get a closer look at those animals.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Coming in at number 12, we've got another bird show, but this one is so impressive and the better of the two bird shows, in our opinion, and that's Winged Encounters. The Kingdom Takes Flight. This show happens right in front of the Tree of Life several times throughout the day. Again, the times are listed on the My Disney Experience app. And this show is so impressive because the macaws fly in from all around and the bird care experts will interact with the birds and tell you all about them. They are so brilliantly colored and there are 6 species in all: hyacinth, green-winged, blue and gold, scarlet, blue-throated, and military. The birds are completely free-flying and trained to go to and from their encounters behind the scenes at Animal Kingdom. There's a show that goes into detail about how they're trained, cared for, and it's really interesting. And we can't remember what it's called. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, and it may have been an episode of The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom.
I think it was.
Either way, definitely worth checking out. Yeah.
Once again, shout out to that series. It was really good.
Yeah, 100%. Number 11 is the Maharaja Jungle Trek. So this is located in the Asia section of the park as well, way back there, pretty much all the way at the back of the park. It's a walking trail and you'll encounter different animals there, so there's no rush here. You walk as fast or slow as you'd like to explore at your leisure. There's an aviary with over 50 species of birds. Along the trek, you'll also find gibbons, Eld's deer, blackbuck, Komodo dragons, Malayan flying fox, water buffalo, and of course, tigers. And these are the highlight or the flagship animals that you'll find there.
Yeah.
So we enjoy this stroll. Lucy and I will often do it, but we didn't do it with the kids last year. They were pretty run down at this point in the day. But I think we'll try to do it with them again this year. So again, they're a year older and they might be able to go just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree. We'll definitely try this one out. Coming in at number 10, we've got the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. So aside from the Kilimanjaro safaris, Kilimanjaro. This is, in our opinion, the next best animal viewing area in the park. This is located in the Africa section of the park, pretty much in the middle of where the route for the safari takes you. As you may have guessed from the name, you'll spot gorillas on this walk. Yeah. The name gives it away. Yeah. But you're also going to see hippos, zebras, among many others. This is a self-guided walk, just like the Jungle Trek, so you go at your own pace. We just love seeing the gorillas, and we think it's definitely worth walking through this trail. The gorillas are fascinating.
Yeah,
I love them.
Agreed.
And it's the perfect follow-up to the safaris, in our opinion. So when you get off the safaris, it spits you out not far from the entrance of this walking trail, so you can zip into the trail after your ride on the safari. We did this once with the kids last year, and they loved it. So if you're only going to do one of the walking trails at Animal Kingdom, we highly suggest that this is the one that you choose.
Yeah, 100%. Like, if you don't want to walk all the trails, this is 100% the one that we feel where you get the most
bang for your walk.
Yeah, bang for your walk. But yeah, 100%. Like, it's just it's very pleasant. And like Lucy said, like it's basically the perfect follow-up to the safari while you're still in that mode in that area of the park. And coming in at number 9 is the show that is housed in the theater at the base of the Tree of Life, and that's It's Tough to Be a Bug. So this is a 3D film with live elements as well as animatronics. It's themed to Disney and Pixar's A Bug's Life, and the show features Flick, Hopper, and the gang. This show is fairly short, but it is cute. Fair warning, there are creepy crawlies in your seat, okay? So you're going to feel something in your seat. Don't be alarmed. It's all part of the show. Spiders come down from the ceiling. A bug lets off a legitimately stinky gas smell.
Of some sort,
Personally, we think it's super cute, and A Bug's Life is an older Pixar film, but it's good and our kids have seen it, so they recognize the IP. Having said that, it can be pretty scary for your younger kids. Okay, so this is a big caveat for this. We have witnessed kids have meltdowns during this show, so fair warning there. If this sounds like something your kids would be frightened by, then maybe skip this one. Otherwise, it's a fun and unique show and definitely worth checking out. Quick note, Disney announced that they were looking at replacing this show with a Zootopia themed show. This was previously announced at the D23 event and is likely to happen in the nearish future. So no confirmations of closures or anything have been announced yet. But if you have a trip this year or you want to experience this potentially for the last time, don't sleep on it because you may never get to again.
Yeah, I actually really liked this show. I thought it was really fun. Our son really got a kick out of it too.
Yeah, 100%. Sophia was a little scared.
But
not
that's
like,
not like screaming scared.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
At number 8, we're going to slot in the Cali River Rapids, and this is purely for my benefit because if it was up to Oliver, he would have put this at number 19, right at the bottom where he truly believes that this belongs.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Anyways.
Come on now. Admit it.
It's not that bad.
So this is a water ride, and it's located in the Asia section of the park, pretty much right in the middle of it. You're going to board a 12-person raft, and right away you sit down, and your seat is probably going to be nice and wet, and your seatbelt that you're going to be putting on is likely soaked.
Yeah, that seatbelt, that orange seatbelt is 100% soaked.
So that's a good indication of how wet you're probably going to get on this attraction.
Yeah.
The ride takes you through several areas with lush greenery, and it finishes with a 20-foot slope where you're likely going to get a little wet. And if you're facing the wrong way, you're going to get completely soaked.
Yep,
like
agreed.
There's no avoiding it whatsoever.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a sign at the front of the attraction before you enter the queue that reads, quote, "The proprietors of Cali River Rapids wish to inform you, you will get wet. You may get soaked."
Yeah, and that's a very accurate statement because I mean, you 100%, you're going to get wet, and it's either like a little to moderate to like you're just drenched.
Yeah, we've been completely soaked several times. Like I said, Oliver does not like being wet.
Nope. Honestly, I can deal with wet shorts and t-shirts. Okay. I'll typically wear some kind of quick drying shorts, and your t-shirt will typically dry pretty quick, especially if it's warm and sunny out. What I really don't like is wet shoes and socks.
Yeah, he hates it.
That'll be the last thing to dry, and I really don't like that. And depending on the weather, I won't go on it. But for the family or for Lucy, I will grit and bear it when it's nice out.
So when we were there this past November, in early December, there was a couple days where it was legitimately so cold, and that was a hard no.
Yeah, 100%.
Even for me, and I don't mind being wet, but that was a hard no.
Yeah, no, 100%. If you're going to be cold and wet all day, that's just not worth it. Yeah. At number 7, it's Dinosaur. So as implied by the name, this is located in Dinoland, USA. This is a thrill ride and has a 40-inch height requirement, so your smaller littles may not be tall enough to ride this one. But to be fair, they may not want to. So this attraction has you board a rover where you'll put on a seatbelt and you'll be transported back in time to rescue an iguanodon and bring him back to the present. But of course, it wouldn't be an attraction if all went to plan. Okay, so you're transported to a time with an impending meteor strike, and you encounter other not-so-friendly dinos along your trip. This is the same ride system as the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland, so it is thrilling and well executed. I prefer the Indiana Jones ride over this one because I like Indiana Jones. I don't really have any kind of, I don't have any kind of attachment to the Animal Kingdom version. This attraction will likely go the way of the dodo bird when Dinoland is reimagined, as has been announced by Disney, but there's no timeline on that as of right now, and I think it'll be years before it's completed when it does start. I am curious to see, though, if they would bring the Indiana Jones ride to Disney World and just retheme the existing attraction. Time will tell. In terms of the scare level for this ride, though, Disney warns that the loud sounds, dark scenes, and scary dinos may scare some children. And just like It's Tough to Be a Bug, we've witnessed kids completely break down during this ride, so I can definitely see how it could be scary for little kids. So fair warning there. You know your kids best, so use your best judgment. We didn't take the kids on this one last time. Sophia was tall enough, but she was 5, and I was worried that it would be a little bit too scary for her.
It would be loud for her too.
Yeah, 100%. Like it is creepy. like if you're 5.
Yep. You don't know what's real and not real.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I think we'll write it this time, though. Again, she's a year older and we think she could handle it. Yep. And we'll give it a try and see how it goes.
And maybe we'll be the worst parents ever. Who knows?
Yeah.
In the top 6 here, we're getting into our very favorite attractions and shows in the park. Just like in the other parks, there's nothing we don't like outright, but our favorites are coming up. So at number 6, we've got Finding Nemo, The Big Blue, and Beyond. This is an awesome and fun-filled, family-friendly show that's located in the large theater on the far side of Dinoland USA, closest to the entrance to Asia, or right at the entrance of Dinoland when you're coming from Asia. The show is about 25 minutes long and it features puppets, singers, dancers, and many other performers. The show is based on the Finding Nemo movie, the first one, and you're going to see and hear the characters you know and love from the movie. This show is awesome. It's so well done. The performers are so skilled. There's humor, heartfelt moments, and wonderful music. This is Disney level entertainment and it does not disappoint.
Agreed 100%.
Yeah.
It's a really good show.
Super high quality. The kids love this show so much, but really doesn't matter how old you are or the makeup of your party, everyone is likely going to enjoy this show. The show happens several times throughout the day, usually with an hour between the show starts. We definitely think this is worth your time, and we strongly recommend you check the show out. It's a highlight for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And it was recently revamped, right? I think it opened back in 2022 or 2023 after being closed for a while. And it's shorter, more concise, and it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. Super colorful too.
Yeah, 100%. Coming in at number 5 is the Festival of the Lion King. So I don't want to hype it up too much, but this is probably our favorite show on all of Disney property.
I concur 100% with this.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of phenomenal shows at Walt Disney World, but this one is truly amazing. So we've seen the Lion King on Broadway 3 times in 3 different cities, right? And this is Broadway level entertainment for sure. The show is located in the Africa section of the park on the side furthest away from the Tree of Life. It's housed in a large theater with large stands in all 4 corners, and the show happens in the middle. It features massive puppets, daring acrobatics, and phenomenal performances from talented singers. There is audience participation here, and the whole thing is just so pleasant and so well done. This is a show we never miss, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's just us or if we have the kids, we always do this one. It's just too good to pass up. It's a pretty long show as well, clocking in at over 30 minutes, and it happens several times throughout the day. So be sure to check the My Disney Experience app to make sure you don't miss it. If you're only going to do one show in Animal Kingdom, we suggest this one, okay? Yeah. It's not that the others are bad, it's just that this one's better. So if you're not sure about a show or you don't normally stop for them, stop for this one. It's definitely worth your time.
Yeah, high quality, well done for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
For number 4, we're heading into Pandora, the world of Avatar. When you enter the park and get to Discovery Island, which is the hub of the park, you're going to take a hard left and keep walking until you reach Pandora. So it's worth mentioning here that Pandora might be the most visually beautiful land in all of Walt Disney World. We've known many people to skip Animal Kingdom, and it makes us sad, actually.
100%. Yeah, just recently I was talking to a coworker of mine who mentioned that they had skipped Animal Kingdom on their last trip, and I think that's a mistake.
Agreed.
Honestly, like Pandora alone, never mind everything else in the park has to offer, is worth the trip.
Yeah. The feats of Imagineering that it took to execute this area of the park are phenomenal. They replicated the floating mountains of Pandora using rebar in the vines to make it look as if the mountains were actually floating. The time, the effort, the thought, and execution that went into this land is unreal and 100% worth your time and money to check out.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Yeah. I think we've mentioned this on the pod before, but the Imagineering story, like the 6-part miniseries on Disney Plus, like they'll touch on this and it's unreal the work that these people do. It's just, and you feel it like the moment you walk into Pandora, it's unreal.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why at number 4 is Navi River Journey.
Yeah.
This is a slow, dark boat ride through the bioluminescent forest of Pandora. Everything is glowing and there are physical elements as well as the screen elements, which features the creatures and fauna from the movie. It is visually beautiful and it features one of the best animatronics on property, hands down, the best one.
Yep.
A large avatar, which is the shaman of songs, and it is so well done and lifelike. It gives us chills every time we see it, like 100%. Literal chills. Our kids were like, that's real, right? Like they could not believe it.
Yeah.
This doesn't have a height requirement and it is a good use of your early entry or lightning lane if you're purchasing Genie Plus. You'll notice that we haven't mentioned it to this point, and that's because we actually don't think that Genie Plus is worth it in Animal Kingdom, especially if you're arriving early. So if you're arriving for early entry and you have people that can't or won't ride Flight of Passage, this is a good first ride of the day. We rope dropped this one on our last trip with the kids because Sophia wasn't tall enough to do Flight of Passage.
Yeah, like we said earlier, right? She was too small, so we still rope dropped Pandora, and then we rode Navi River Journey and headed to Kilimanjaro Safaris from there. But yeah, that's definitely an option if you have somebody in your party who doesn't or can't ride Flight of Passage. Absolutely. Otherwise, you should definitely go to Flight of Passage. But anyways,
yes,
we'll get to
100%.
that. We'll get to that in a minute. So at number 3, we've got Kilimanjaro Safaris. So this is located in the Africa section of the park, and it's the most popular attraction in this area. You'll board a large truck for a guided tour of Disney's African savanna, where you'll encounter multiple species living in Animal Kingdom. So the areas here are separated by berms, moats, and other elements that you can't see, but will ensure that the animals that shouldn't be mixing don't.
So cool.
Yeah, 100%. So these are the subtle Imagineering steps that are sometimes overlooked by guests, but that make the Disney parks so phenomenal. So you'll encounter lions, zebras, giraffes, elephants, wildebeest, hippos, crocodile, and many others. The animals come and go as they please, so with every ride through, you'll see different things. At the peak of the day, when it's really hot, this is usually when the animals will be less active, so something to keep in mind there. You may find more success in seeing more animals out and about during the early morning or the evening hours, closer to park open or park close. We like to World of Pandora, like we said, do the attractions there, and then head to Kilimanjaro Safaris before it gets too hot. And I feel like we've been pretty lucky and seen the animals lots out and about and moving around.
We've been really lucky first thing in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty great to see these animals out in the large areas. We love this attraction. The kids got a major kick out of it for sure. And it was a highlight at this park for them. And I think for like as a consensus, most kids just like seeing the animals, right? So it's definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely. Like you see a lot of animals. It's very impressive.
Yeah, agreed.
Coming in at number 2, we've got Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. This is located in the Asia section of the park on the far end, furthest away from the Tree of Life. This is a thrill coaster with a 44-inch height requirement, and it has the most thrill factor out of all the attractions in Animal Kingdom. The attraction is themed to the Tibetan village near Mount Everest. The queue for the attraction and the theming around the entrance is so well done. When the attraction was being developed, Imagineers actually traveled to Tibet on research trips to make the area as authentic as possible. And we've never been, but we're sure that that's exactly what it looks like. We believe that that's legitimate and it's very well executed.
Enough to sell us on it for sure. Yeah.
Interesting note, the Yeti animatronic in this attraction is currently and has been for a long time in B mode. So it doesn't move, but it is flashed with a strobe light to give the illusion of movement, but it's static.
Yeah, 100%. Speculation as to why that is not getting fixed runs rampant on social media, but we're guessing it likely has to do with the cost and shutting the attraction down for a long or extended period of time, right? So either way, it's still a super fun attraction, definitely worth riding.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes forwards, backwards, and part of it's in the dark, and it actually feels like you're being inverted, but you're not.
Yep.
So don't worry, you won't be inverted.
Yep.
This is a good one to head to after you've hit Pandora and Kilimanjaro Safaris in the early morning hours. When the park is less busy, the wait time here is really low in the morning, and you can likely get away with actually going back-to-back ride-throughs.
Yep.
Our son Caleb loved this one. Like we said earlier, Sophia wasn't quite tall enough to ride it last trip, but she is good to go this one.
Yep.
And she's really excited, and we are really excited as well for her to get to test this one out. The way she's reacted to other rides, we have a feeling she's really going to love this one, so we're not worried. She loves coasters.
Yeah, 100%. And like we've created little park monsters and we love it. But
We really
100%.
have, yeah.
Like we weren't sure because, there's some, not like Disney for the most part has really family-friendly rides.
Oh, yeah.
But Tower of Terror can be scary for littles, right? There's lots of rides that can be scary for smaller children, but our kids have taken all of these like champs. So Sophia, now that she's tall enough to ride, I'm thinking she's going to love this one based on our experience with the other. Yeah, 100%. I think she's going to love it.
We actually have the best picture of her on her first coaster ever on our first day ever at Disney with them. And it was Snow White's in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
and
we mentioned that before.
Hilarious.
God, we need to share that photo. It's hilarious.
Her face was hilarious, but then she just went with it, and she's loved it all since.
Yeah, 100%. And then coming in at number 1, and a surprise to no one because it's the heavy hitter in the park and it hasn't been mentioned yet, and that's Avatar Flight of Passage. So this is the flagship attraction in Pandora and the whole park really, and it's really a phenomenal attraction. The queue itself is so well designed, and honestly, it's worth waiting in the standby queue just to be able to see all of it without rushing through the lightning lane. When it comes to queues in Disney World, this is likely one of, if not the one, we're less bothered by. Mm-hmm. There's elements of lush greenery and cool elements from the movie. The pre-show is imaginative, and we appreciate it. The ride itself, again, one of the best on all of Walt Disney World property. This takes you on a seat kind of like a bicycle or a motorcycle, and then you lean forward a little bit and slide your hips in. It gives you the feeling of being locked in. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you experience it, you'll know what we're talking about. You do have to wear 3D glasses for this one. Then the screen in front of you kind of appears, and you go on an exhilarating ride on the back of a Banshee. The whole thing is a giant simulator, and the seats will move, right, to make you to make it feel like you're on the back of a breathing creature essentially. Yeah. And you guys, this is really hard to put into words, and I hear myself talk and I feel like I'm not doing justice, but it's unreal. Okay,
it's so well done. We can't even describe it really. You have to ride it.
So well designed. It's visually stunning. It's so well executed, and we highly recommend it to everyone. It's worth a trip to Animal Kingdom alone just to ride this attraction.
Yeah, 100%.
So quick note, like we said earlier, this does have a 44-inch height requirement. Sophia was too small to ride last time, but she's tall enough now. So we'll be rope dropping Flight of Passage on our Animal Kingdom Day coming up for sure.
Oh, 100%.
We recommend you do the same. Okay, so if you're there for early entry, rope drop Flight of Passage, then Navi River Journey, then Kilimanjaro Safaris, and then wherever your heart desires after that. This is not on Genie Plus, okay? So this is the individual lightning lane in this park. This will and regularly gets really long waits, so 90 minutes or more, even on moderately busy days. It never doesn't have a long wait. Never. It always does. If you're arriving in the park later, be prepared to wait or splurge on the individual lightning lane if you want to avoid a longer wait. But like we said earlier, when it comes to Walt Disney World queues, this is one you're likely to mind less. Waiting in. Yeah, because there's so much to see. You're not even really paying attention to the wait time because you're just taking it all in. Agreed, 100%. And there's washrooms and a water fountain in that queue. That. Yeah, 100%. So there's that as well.
Little tidbit.
Yep. Having said all that, that wraps up our ranking attraction series. And again, this is our ranking of the offerings at Animal Kingdom. And like we said, for the other parks, you may disagree with this, and that's totally okay.
Absolutely.
Again, very subjective topic. Like we said earlier, we absolutely love Animal Kingdom. When we first started visiting, we weren't overly drawn to the park, and Pandora wasn't open back then. But honestly, don't sleep on this park, okay? It's really phenomenal. It has great attractions and a much more relaxed feel. That's such a welcome thing during a busy Walt Disney World trip, okay? We think Pandora is one of the best lands on property, on par with Galaxy's Edge, and it's 100% worth your time and money to check it out.
Absolutely. So with that being said, hopefully hearing about each attraction and what they have to offer will help you to get a better understanding of what's available in each park and what you may want to prioritize.
Yep, agreed 100%. Thank you so much for joining us today to talk Animal Kingdom attractions. If you haven't already, find us on Instagram at letsgo.2disney and the same handle on TikTok as well. And there you'll find some more tips and Disney fun.
Absolutely. We're also on Facebook. Our page there is Let's Go to Disney.
Yeah, 100%. And if you're not subscribed to the podcast, we'd sure to appreciate if you took the time to do that. And if you can find the time to drop us a rating and review, it would be greatly appreciated. It helps us reach more listeners. And that's why we started this podcast, to help you have
a wonderful Disney vacation.
Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.